Hey guys, this is the first algebra review day, so I wanted to make sure you had the correct notes so that you knew how to do your assignment. So the first term that we're going to cover is an expression. An expression is numbers, symbols, and operators that show the value of something but doesn't have an equal symbol involved. So it would be something like maybe 5x plus 3. That would be an expression. On the other hand, something that would be similar but different is an equation. So this is a statement that the two mathematical values or expressions are equal to one another. This would be indicated with the equal sign. So if we started with the first expression, 5x plus 3, and then if we wrote another expression, so maybe, I don't know, 2x plus 8, and then if we threw an equal sign in there, that would be an equation. It could also be something simple like 5x plus 3 equals 11. It could just equal another number. The key, definitive thing here is that this one has an equal sign and this one does not have an equal sign. When you solve the equation, what you're actually doing is finding the value of the variable that makes the equation true. So I just randomly picked numbers, so it's probably going to turn out terrible. But if we solved that first equation, 5x plus 3 equals negative 2x plus 8, what we're doing is figuring out which number we can put in place of x that will actually make this side equal to this side. So if we wanted to do that, we'll get into this on day 2, but we would combine like terms across the equal sign, and then we would find that solution. If you did it with something simple, like let's say, I don't know, 2x equals 14, what you would do is you would divide by 2. Since 2 x's are worth 14, that means that a single x would have to be worth 7. And if you put that in right there, 2 times 7 equals 14, so we know it's correct. Then we have linear equations, which we're not going to deal with right now, but it's something that you guys probably have seen quite a bit. So a linear equation is an equation with a single variable, and when it's graphed, it will produce a line. So if we stuck with 5x plus 3, what you guys would see it typically in a linear equation would be y equals 5x plus 3. And then if you were to graph this, it would create a line. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but this would be your y-intercept, and it would go boop, 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 up 3. And then this guy right here is your slope, and you would have to say it's rise over run. Again, we'll talk about this more in depth later, but what we would do is from that green point, we would rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from this number. And then we would run 1, which is from this number. So we would have a new coordinate right there. And then when we draw our line, that's how it would graph. So that would be a linear equation. They're just really related to simple expressions. Okay, so let's get into solving some. This is what your assignment's going to be on. I want to give you a heads up. There's things called inverses. These are like opposites. So you guys have done this a ton, but again, it's probably been a while. So the inverse of addition is, or the opposite, is subtraction. So if you have addition, in order to get rid of it, you need to use subtraction. If you have multiplication, the inverse or the opposite of multiplication is division. So if you have division, to get rid of it, you would use multiplication. There's another one that we'll use a lot, but not yet, I guess. It would be like square root, which I don't know why I put that 2 there. That doesn't usually happen. Usually you just have it like this, and it would be like m. The inverse or opposite of that would be m squared. So if you had a square root and you wanted to get rid of it, you would need to square it. and vice versa. But that we won't deal with right now. That'll be coming down the line. So we're starting here with like two-step equations. So the first thing I do is I will drop a line because it's really important that you guys understand an equal sign is like the middle part of a teeter-totter. So it means that each side is literally exactly the same. So if you do something on this side, you have to do the exact same thing on that side. So in this case, I see we have a plus 17. Well, again, the opposite of plus is minus. So to get rid of that, what we would do is we would subtract 17. These drop, and what remains on this side is 3x. This is where most students get messed up, honestly. Like, they understand the process, but it's combining integers. So think of this like money. If I said that you owed me $25, that's like negative $25. Then let's say you owed a friend 17. So again, you're negative 17. You are like super in the hole. You would actually be negative $42. It's like you're combining those negatives. So now at this point, what we have right here is we have 3 times x. And again, the opposite of times is divide. So in order to get rid of this, we would go divide by 3, and you would have x on this side because this divides to a single x. And then here you would have a negative, let me see, 3 goes into 4, 1, and 4. It should be negative 14. I just did it in my head, so double check. If I'm wrong, but that's what I think it should be. And then if you were to test this, if you wanted to check if you were right, what you would do is you would take this and put it here and see if this actually equaled negative 25. Okay, sorry about the clicking. This one is different. I want you to see if you can figure out how it's different. The big thing here is we have a b term and then another b term. So what we have to do here is we need to combine like terms. There's 2 b chunks, and we want to put them together. If there's nothing in front, just like assume it's a 1. So this is going to become 4b, and then we still have minus 15. And then on this side, we still have equals 37. So now, if you kind of like ignore that top part, this looks just like the first problem that we were dealing with. So what we're going to do first is get rid of this minus 15. You want to get rid of like the extra stuff first. It's just easier. So the opposite of minus is plus. And we have to make sure we do it on the left and the right. So here we would have 4b left. And then if we do 37 plus 15, we get 52. And the last thing we have here is 4 times b equals 52. And the opposite of times, again, is divide. So we would divide by 4 on both sides. Sorry, my dogs heard the door. Cooper, buddy. So 4 divided by 4. Cooper, stop. Sorry, you guys. Oh, my goodness. Okay. But if there's a paper towel, watch out. Okay, so the 4's divide off and become 1, and we have a single b. And then 52 divided by 4 is going to be 13. If you wanted to double check that, you would have to put a 13 right here and right here to make sure that it equals 37. Alrighty, got a couple left, and then that should be it for today. So in this one, this is similar. If we drop this, we again have 2 x terms. And what you'll notice is like here, you see I included the plus symbol, and up here I included the plus symbol. That's because the sign in front tells you whether it's positive or negative. So like here, see how the minus sign is before the 15? That means that the 15 is negative. Okay, so because these are both positive, it's just going to become 6x. then plus 108 equals 180. We do like a million billion things with triangles, and triangles add up to 180. That's why we put this problem in here, just so you get used to it. So here we would go, we have some multiplication and we have some addition. Get rid of the easy stuff first. So addition's inverse is minus. So we're going to subtract 108 on both sides. That becomes 0. So we have 6x equals 72. Here this means times, and the opposite of multiplication is division. So we would divide by 6, and we get a single x equals 12. And then again, go ahead and you can plop that in there and there to make sure it actually equals 180. Okay, last one is a little crazy because it's got these parentheses here. We haven't dealt with those yet, but I'm sure that you guys remember. You might not remember it off the top of your head, but there's something called distribution. So basically what this is saying is they want 4 of everything under the orange block. They want 4 of everything inside. 4 3s would be 12. We're multiplying. 4 7s would be 28. Again, we're multiplying. So you're just distributing. And that's going to equal negative 32. So we go, drop our line. Now it looks just like we started with, kind of the basic initial ones. So we'll minus 28, minus 28. Again, here, make sure you pay attention to signs. It's negative 32 and negative 28. You owe a lot of money. You would be negative 60. And then this still equals 12x. And your last step is to divide by 12. 12 divided by 12 is 1x. And negative 60 divided by 12 is negative 5. That should be about it. There's one thing, I think it comes up in this assignment, so I just want to give you a heads up about it. If you see something like, let's say it's 3 times 2x minus, we'll say plus 1, and then minus 5x minus 4 equals 37. We're not going to solve this all, but the one thing I want to give you a heads up about, a lot of students will see this part, and they don't really know what to do. So basically what you're going to do is treat this like a negative 1, and then you're going to go pump, pump, and distribute it. So you'll distribute this first one, it'll be 6x plus 3. And then when you distribute the second one, it becomes negative 5x because this was positive, but you take it times negative 1. And then this becomes plus 4x because it was negative, but you're going to take it times negative 1. And then it equals 37, and then boom, 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 you can just combine and solve. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to go to your homework Alg Day 1 that's linked in Friday's announcement, and you are going to work on that. If you get stuck, when I get back, I can help you. The sub should be able to help, but if you need me, I'll be there Monday, and I'll be happy to help. Alrighty.